Hey everybody, Infidel1258 here. Today I'm actually going to be talking about land, and this is a clip from a recent YouTube members only live event wherein we're going to talk about why I want to position myself well within land at this moment of land 1.75. It's maybe being overlooked. Survival is exciting. Conclave Arcana, we're staring down the pipe of that. There's so many cool things to look at within Splinterlands right now, and I wonder if maybe now is the moment, therefore, to fixate or readdress or prepare in the context of land because others are not focusing there. That's what I'm thinking. I wonder if you'll think the same. Stick around and hear my thoughts on it. Have an amazing day. God bless. Plus, getting more into SPL Trader for staking DEC to earn passively. That's great. It's basically a bot trader that splits profit with DEC stakeholders. Interesting. I don't know much about that gathering. I'd love to know more about that. I've been thinking about getting into the pools on the land side. I haven't yet. I listened to Matt Clark, and he talks about how he's trying to get 1% of each of the liquidity pools, and I think that is a really wise move. First of all, when people are looking left, I want to go right. You've heard me talk about that before, guys, on Splinterlands. Anything Splinterlands, like I will. My view is that if everyone's focusing on Conclave Arcana, it makes some sense to maybe slow down and look where they're not looking. And I do think land 1.75 has got people. It's got people's attention. It's this weird. What's that word I'm looking for? It's very dual natured. There's like two weird non-congruent sides to land 1.75. What do I mean? Well, some people are really excited about the new expansion to how land works and the productivity and maybe the new SPS earning opportunity for them, because if you can sustain yourself, the SPS earning has gone up and up and up because many people are taking down their SPS farms, as I did, based on some of your recommendations. Thank you. I think Paul and Gathering, I think if I recall correctly, you guys were like, you got to close those down. And you're right, I did. I turned it into grain or into wood or stone or whatever made sense. I'm mostly now stable, but I don't want to lose my point here. I want to say, what I'm trying to say is, some people are excited about what this is because there's interesting new opportunities in it, but many people are kind of pulling back from land because of something else. Maybe it's Conclave Arcana, getting ready for that, getting your DEC ready, or maybe it's survival mode. And survival mode has been super exciting, and the number of X posts that I'm seeing, even Jeff Opens Cards right here. Jeff Opens Cards, about 5,000 SPS yesterday too, and still have 14 hours until next claim. There's over 300 matches into Wild in the start of the season, setting all cards used within those matches to not survival eligible. So still competitive in Wild too. That's interesting. I turned on my Xbot for survival today. I haven't seen it start up the matches yet, but I'm going to try and see what happens here too. See this? 124 SPS in battle rewards, all from survival mode. And it looks like he's saying that was a 10-hour process because it's a 24-hour window and there's 14 hours until next claim, which is wild. It's amazing. I mean, and so land, I feel, is probably, of the things that are most exciting right now, it's exciting and yet being overlooked, in my opinion. And so I am trying to activate more land. I am trying to get things together. I want to acquire more land. I'd like to buy another 50 or 100 plots. But I don't have all my plots even currently activated. Let me show you what I've got going on. So my productivity on the way I'm looking at it is really the required per hour versus the per hour creation. I think that's the most concise way to analyze where you're at. And as you can see, I'm in the red. I need 6,181 grain per hour, and I'm producing 5,130. So I'm losing 1,050 every hour. And I do have a little stockpile. I've got 4.2 million, but I mean, I don't want to burn through my grain that way. I want to accumulate more, not dwindle what I've had. I had to burn 6 million grain in order to get where I'm at right now. Like I had 10 million plus, and I had to burn 6 million in order to buy the early resources like the stone, the wood, the whatever, in order to claim the SPS I had been earning. And that was there was a lot of SPS in there. But as you well know, the finances of that didn't make sense. And that's why I followed your guys' advice. You know, if I sell the resource, get the DEC and buy the SPS, I'll be making more SPS. Or if I just turn off the land and buy the SPS, I'll get more SPS, especially at these price points. But I do want to create stability, and I do want to be present here while others are thinking, oh, the SPS rewards are too cheap or whatever. Because that's, to me, that's the short-sighted view when people say, for instance, that, you know, the cost to earn these resources, especially if you're paying DEC to buy grain or DEC to buy wood or DEC, right? That doesn't justify the SPS return. And I understand that, but that doesn't mean I don't want to get to a place where I'm able to sustainably create a trickle of SPS. For the same reason that Gathering mentioned, he's trying to create a passive earning potential within the context of some liquidity pool. I want the same thing within the context of land. And I think ultimately we're not going to regret having earned grain, wood, stone, iron. I think long-term land is going to continue to grow. And I'm not shaken in that reality that this is going to go somewhere really impressive, really amazing. And so I don't want to slow down. I want to speed up, particularly while others are perhaps distracted elsewhere. Eli, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Gathering said, I want to start stockpiling my land resources for the next phase when we can start building our permanent buildings. You know, it will take tens of thousands of each resource. Yes, I fully agree. You're right. I wish there was some way to prepare more than what we're already earning. Of course, there isn't because those resources aren't being presented yet, but there will be another pain point. So currently there was with the recent 1.75, there was a pain point as we went just away from grain into stone and the other resources, right? Wood, stone, iron. You didn't have any of these and you needed them in order to produce SPS. Those who are producing SPS or research at the moment when we move into more resources, they will experience that same pain point. And yet I would like to renew my SPS farming. If not my research farming, at least my SPS farming. And so I don't like, it's not currently a possibility because my per hour productivity on my grain is just not where it needs to be. And I need to focus on that first and foremost. And I want to see how many plots I got. I don't want to count them, and I know there's an easier way. I think it's 34. It might be 38. And if there's a quick way to count them, guys, let me know. I don't want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to break up my fingers. But then there's 4 I have not yet activated. And yeah, so I'm going to need to come in and make some more grain. I'm going to need to figure that out. I want to double my grain production. Double it. And then I want to increase my stone and my other resource production. And then I want to explore what it would look like to add some SPS plots. So if I've got 35 plots of land, I think I'm talking about adding 70 more. I think we're going to get up to that 100 mark again. And I do want to do that soon because, again, I think now is the moment where people are the most frustrated with land and they're the most enticed elsewhere. There's excitement about survival. There's excitement about, right? Those are important for you to recognize when you're looking at your own opportunities. If you think land is special, when others are kind of sleeping on it, that's when I would want to move on it. And yeah, stockpiling resources for the next phase makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. There will still be that pain point, even for us, if we're not focusing on SPS, there'll still be that pain point around some of those new resources just suddenly not being available or suddenly being necessary in the context of those buildings, probably, right? But nevertheless, I agree. Gathering that makes a lot of sense.